Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about Claude 3.5 Sonnet, which is the latest of the Claude models, and it is really impressive. We're going to look at Claude 3.5 Sonnet, which was released on June 20th, just 7 days ago. Let's scroll down a bit, and we will look at a few of the features. This is Claude 3.5 Sonnet. This is intelligence ranking, and until now, Claude 3 Opus has been the most intelligent of the Claude 3 system. And now we've got Claude 3 Sonnet that upgraded to 3.5, and it is a lot smarter. The benchmark scores are a lot better. It's introducing a new thing it calls artifacts. It says it's a new way to use Claude. And you can see this little video here, but artifacts are things that happen over on this side here, and I will demonstrate that. But here you can see it says, when a user asks Claude to generate content like code snippets, text documents, or website designs, these artifacts appear in a dedicated window alongside their conversation. And we will look at that a bit. It says that they're still committed to safety and privacy, that they have rigorous testing, and have been trained to reduce misuse. Coming soon, this is what I found really fascinating too, is to complete the Claude 3.5 model family, we'll be releasing Claude 3.5 Haiku and Claude 3.5 Opus later this year. That will be very exciting. So I've never even really used Haiku or Sonnet because when I started using Claude, Opus was the top one. So when the new Claude 3.5 Opus comes out, that will be really neat. Let's scroll back to this chart one more time. So they upgraded the middle one of their models, and they said they're also going to upgrade Haiku and Opus, and I don't really know what the difference will be, but we can see Claude 3.5 Sonnet is really cool. So let's go over to Claude. I've got it open here. I've been using it, so I have recent chats. You probably won't have any recent chats. But here is just the standard text box. Here it says I have the professional plan. That's what I'm paying $20 a month for. I believe you have some very limited use if you are on the free plan. Like many of the LLMs, you have some choices here, some suggested prompts, or you can refresh these, but let's look at what it says. Polish your prose, summarize meeting notes, extract insights from reports. Down here, we have our recent chats, and you can view all. Also, if you click over here, you get the sidebar to open up. But let's look at this. It says new introducing projects. Bring your docs, code, and files to collaborate with Claude and your team. Try it out. This is really cool. And I'm going to click try it out. It will go through this little quick demo, but basically over here, you can add PDFs, Word docs, other kind of documents. And I think at this time you can add up to 5 of them, and it will use all the knowledge in those as some kind of major project. It just keeps repeating to ask it things. And in genealogy, we could have research reports. We could have transcriptions of some documents. And we could just bring that in and then really chat with it about that specific thing. And we can click on try an example project. What I think is cool here is it has this right here, this Claude prompting guide. And if I click on this to open it, we have all these it's a prompting guide, and it's really cool. So it says, for example, be clear and specific. I'm just going to read through one. Clearly state your task or question at the beginning of your message. Provide context and details to help Claude understand your needs. Break complex tasks into smaller, manageable steps. And then for each one of these, it tells you what a bad prompt is. It says, help me with a presentation. It's saying that is a poor prompt. Instead, a good prompt is, I need help creating a 10-slide presentation for our quarterly sales meeting. The presentation should cover our QT sales performance, top-selling products, and sales targets for Q3. Please provide an outline with key points for each slide. And then it ends with why it's better. It says the good prompt provides specific details about the task, including the number of slides, the purpose of the presentation, and the key topics to be covered. And so under this general tips, it has be clear and specific, use examples, encourage thinking, iterative refinement, leverage Claude's knowledge, use role playing. And I think that's it. And each time it gives you a bad prompt, a good prompt, and why it's better. Then it gives task-specific tips and examples. And it talks about content creation, like specify your audience, define the tone and style, define output structure, and it continues. Now it has some of this, I think this is Markdown, but it has some of this, and I did transfer it into Word, and it did a so-so job. I have since cleaned it up for myself and created a PDF of this information. But I think this is great because different people say to prompt in different ways. And this is Claude's latest and greatest of what they say is a good way to prompt with Claude. So that's very helpful. Let's go back to the main page where we can go here. And I'm going to close this box. But the other thing here is artifacts, and it says new. It says create and iterate on documents, codes, and more with Claude. Try it out. Let's click try it out. And this is artifacts. Artifacts is when you have this other screen over here. It says ask Claude to generate content like code snippets, text documents, or website designs. And Claude will create an artifact that appears in a dedicated window alongside your conversation. And that's over here. And I've had this on. I just turned it off so you can see that. Excuse me. It says settings will apply to future conversations. I've now turned it on. I'm going to go to Claude, and it also lets us star our items, our projects. And so I've starred some, but I also have some things I did earlier. So Claude cannot create really realistic images like ChatGPT 4.0 with DALL-E 3 or Midjourney or some of the others, but it can create what is called 8-bit SVGs. And again, I am not a tech person with background, but anyway, these are basically the pixel things like we used to play games in the 80s. But if I open this, you will see this is the castle that it built. I just simply said create a simple 8-bit style castle using SVG. But before it showed me the image, it showed me it was writing the code right here. And let's just continue this chat. So let's go back to preview and let's add a princess in front of the castle. I'm not sure if it will immediately open the code box again. I'm going to go to code because it's fun to watch it. And it is super, super fast. And here it goes. This is faster than a person can program. And let's see how it does. And I don't know coding, but you can see it's doing the Y and the width and the height and the fill, which I'm guessing are colors. And these are rectangles and polygons. And I think it finished. And it's telling me here it has a pink dress, a skin-colored face. And I think it would automatically go usually, but maybe because I switched it. So there we have our beautiful princess. But that's one thing it can do. It can create these images. And this is called artifacts here on the side. Let's go back to my projects, and we're going to look at this Pong game that I created with Claude. And this has been popping up just the past hour. I hope it doesn't affect this. But if we come to the top, and we're going to go to this Pong game, and down here you can see the version. So this is where we started. Write Pong in HTML. And it created the code. And here we're going to look at code here. But the result was this game, which is not a game. And I have these errors. And so I scroll down and I said, I see a lot of uncaught errors, which you see here. Check to make sure this works, then explain how I can actually play it. So it started writing code again. And then the next preview, it was doing this. Well, this is the right one. And it's kind of hard to play against it. It beats me all the time, and it just goes on for eternity. But I had to click in this box, and then I can play. So I'm going to let that game, I won without even trying. Not won, but I got a point. And sometimes it gets stuck at the bottom. But then I said, make it where we have choices if the computer plays easy and medium or hard, because I thought it was kind of fast. It's been a long time since I played Pong. And then we got to version 3. And again, I'm going to choose easy, and we can play, and it's a little easier. And I'll let it score a point, and I can put a little bit of English on it and make it go a little different. I used to be pretty good at Pong back in the day. Anyway, that's Pong. Let's go back here to my projects, and I want to show you an actual project. And this is for a client, and I have permission to share this. Let me put myself back over here. And projects, again, are where you can put a lot of documents or even text into the system, into the project, and it can pull things off of that project. And in this case, I'm working on the tiger family. You can put up to 5 different documents at this time, and I have 5 just Word documents. You can also add content here. I can either upload from device, which is what I did here, or you could add text and you could just start typing and it would list it over here. And then you can just text like usual, but it's pulling on knowledge from these documents. This is very cool. And for example, for genealogists, we could put a lot of documents and type transcriptions, maybe deeds and wills. And even here I have the Tiger report. This is the report I've been working on for this client. I have a bunch of newspaper clippings that I use Snagit to extract the text from and AI to help clean it up. And I put it all in one document. I have the obituary for Felix. And this is a proof of heirship after Katie Thompson's death. And then here I could just start asking questions about it. But let's look at the few things I've already done with it. Down here we have the files, view all 4 files. You can set custom instructions, which I have not done yet. And it says instruct Claude with prompts like use a professional tone, use concise and simple wording, you're an expert in astrophysics, etc. You're an expert genealogist, or you're an expert data analyst. But let's look at what I actually did with this, and let's scroll to the top. And I started by saying, create a timeline of Felix's life, and in what other ways can you help me analyze and visualize the tiger family? And let's look at the timeline first. This will be on the right as an artifact. And there's the timeline. It's just pretty simple. And then I asked it 2 things because you don't get a lot of prompts on this. And so I said a timeline and then in what other ways, and it gave me choices. And I said I wanted 2, 3, and 4. 2 was of residence, a map of where they had lived. The next one was a summary of their Dawes role information. And the last was a narrative. This was from some of the newspaper clippings about their land and legal records. Let's look at the Tiger family reference map. This is Tulsa. It's very basic. Like I said, it can't really create images. And it's using boxes, again, like what we saw in the 80s. Here's Tulsa, McIntosh County, and Okmulgee County. And it's showing Muskogee County over here. Back to the results. Well, we could also do it here. Let's look at the Dawes role summary. It made a very nice table from summarizing some of the information that Dawes role. And then this narrative, and it has, from the newspaper articles, it just tells some of the story. And I need to fact check this. And then I noticed there were 2 different land deeds, Section 14 and Section 10. And I did see it do a map in the past few days, but I can't find it. So I asked for a map. So it's trying to do these townships and ranges. And this one is supposed to be the northwest quarter. And this is not a northwest quarter, even if they're talking about an additional piece of land and this is just part of it. This is the east half. This could be the northwest quarter, this whole thing. But then this would not be the northwest quarter of the northwest quarter. So it actually did not do a great job here. And this is the last thing I want to do is I'm going to have it design a website. And I said, I want you to design a website for a make-believe company targeted to genealogists. Here's some of the information you need. Make sure to have some fun graphics, focus on SEO and brand colors, and even have a logo. Have multiple package prices with links, suggest additional ideas. And basically, I actually got some of this from ChatGPT, and it's going to come up with this family history storytelling app. And it has some features here. And then it gave me the information. And when you click on it, you get this website. And I think it is absolutely beautiful, except it's missing illustrations because Claude doesn't do great with that, or doesn't do images like that. But these are actually functioning like a clickable, but it goes nowhere. So if I click features, it just says there's nothing there basically. Whoops. But we've got features, pricing, contact. It says bring your family history to life. Create and share engaging stories about your ancestors with our easy to use storytelling app. Here you could get started. It talks about the different features like story templates and multimedia support and collaboration tools. And my favorite part, because I think this is absolutely beautiful and looks like a very professional website, is the pricing. And we've got the basic at $4.99 a month. You get 5 story projects, basic templates, and 1 gigabyte of storage. Or the Pro is $9.99 a month, and the family is $14.99 a month. It's gorgeous. It says get in touch. I can actually type in here. I could type an email and I could type a message. But again, if you send message, it doesn't go anywhere. And then you have this copyright down here. Absolutely beautiful. And if you scroll down a bit, I asked it to change the color scheme to blue and to add images. And I gave it some easy ideas, I thought. But if you click on this, I can go to the next version where it's going to be blue. And it does that okay, but the images are complete fails. And now it's kind of messed up this part because it's trying to get an image in there. And it's kind of totally erased this. But if we go back to this version, I actually asked it how to save this. And I think I ended up also asking ChatGPT or something, or maybe this was good enough. But I was able to save it and open up. It doesn't go anywhere, but this beautiful website. And I definitely am going to try to use it for my own website when I'm going to be offering my next course, multi-week course on AI and genealogy this fall. And I'm getting ready to release that soon. And if possible, I'm going to use this to help me build it. But you can see this beautiful website design with just gorgeous fonts and buttons, and these are not quite lined up, but it's beautiful. And so Claude 3.5 Sonnet, I think, is a total winner. It's especially great for creating code, for building websites, and for those projects where you can bring in multiple pieces of information, especially, like I said, genealogy project, you could put it all together. And I just am really recommending it. It's only been out for 7 days, and I can't wait to see what else I can do with it. If you've enjoyed this, if you want to stay in touch with me, please like, follow, subscribe down below, and I will be back soon. Thanks.